And we're live. Welcome back, guys. I'm Brian J. And today I have the pleasure of having someone super special. And I'm super excited because we're only days away. Let that sink in. Days away from the Miss Universe competition in New Orleans, the 71st edition. And yeah, things are getting heated up. Girls are already departing. But this particular girl, I think is going to surprise people. And I am really excited to have her here. We have Gabriella Gontier, Miss Universe Shells. Hi, Gabriella.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to have you here. Like I said, for the third time already. I appreciate you for taking time because I know that you guys are just getting busier and busier as the days go by because we're so close to Miss Universe, like I said before.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'll always have time in that busy schedule for interviews and for the opportunity for the world in general to get to know me a bit better.
Well, that is the goal, for the pageant community to fall in love with you and get to know more about you. So again, I appreciate it. Go ahead and present yourself. I kind of did a little introduction for you, but I would love for you to, express yourself and let the fans know a little bit about yourself and who you are. And
All right. So, hi, everyone. My name is Gabriella Gautier, but I prefer to be called Gabby. I'm 24 and I come from the beautiful islands of Seychelles. But originally, I was born in Sydney, Australia. But I've been living in Seychelles for most all of my life in general. And I am currently and presently working as a monitoring and evaluation officer at the Ministry of Fisheries and Blue Economy. It sounds fancy in all honesty, but it's simply just evaluating national projects for my country and seeing how much investment it could bring, what's the successes, the outcomes, and any loopholes and any recommendations to make the project even better for our country.
let me tell you, that does sound complicated. It did not sound not complicated the way you explained
It's
it.
easy, don't worry.
That's pretty awesome though. That's really cool. I didn't know that part. I knew that you were born in Australia, which by the way, I just visited Australia. When did you
Amazing.
move to the island then? To the
So
islands?
I was just an infant, a few months old. My parents had moved to Australia for several reasons. My father wanted to play football. He wanted to further his ambition. He was a great football player. He's now a coach. And for my mother, she followed her mother. So she moved for family reasons. And in the process of those ambitions, Gabriella was born. So I moved back to Seychelles as a very young infant. So I don't remember much from Sydney, honestly.
Have you visited as an adult?
Not yet. It's on my bucket list, though. Home is where the heart is, in all honesty.
Of
And
course.
I've got family there. So with due time, I'll visit.
Well, let me tell you, I actually went a few months ago, and I actually really liked it. I like the vibe. I like the people. So
Amazing.
you have to have some type of some flavor from that side because honestly, I like how the people are, and I can see
I
that in you.
think I think the flavor is within me, even if personally I haven't visited yet after so long, but it's within me, honestly.
I like that. I like that a lot. Um, you know, your country is returning after 27 years to
Crazy.
Miss Universe. That's insane. That's a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's very surreal because the last delegate was 1995.
Wow.
So people don't remember Seychelles in Miss Universe. So it's always an honor and it's a prestigious moment for me to be back as the second delegate. I think I manifested that opportunity because in the national pageant, when I was asked what I would do exactly if I didn't win that national pageant, I told them that there's always greater plans for Gabriella. And if I don't win that pageant, there's three reasons. Probably I'm not ready. One. Secondly, the opportunity is not mine. Or third, there's greater and bigger things for me. And maybe that's the universe calling. And maybe I would be the second representative to go to Miss Universe for Seychelles. And fast forward 2 years later, I manifested that dream and here I am.
You're days away. Question, in Seychelles, how's the pageant community or support?
So in Seychelles, we have limited sash factor, as we like to put it. Pageants are more on the local scale. It's very small. So having Seychelles back, it's creating that ambience and that aura. So everybody's hyped up in the country to have Seychelles back. And the support is unreal, honestly.
That's awesome. I know that for a lot of small countries, they don't count with a lot of support in their organizations, but you are lucky because you have support. You have also Boogie, which is training you
Amazing.
in your final steps towards Miss Universe. Tell me a little bit about that.
Training is actually something I look forward to because I consider myself like a blank canvas. I never know too much. And for me, I'm not really pageant orientated. So I always take every learning experience with an open heart. And Boogie has been working his magic on me. We've been practicing catwalks. We've been practicing general topics, Q&A, and he's going to work his magic for me in my preliminary and final gowns.
I've
Also,
heard.
yeah, also it's pretty exciting because I'm having like Filipino designers such as Carl from LA who's going to be designing my national costume. So I'm super amazed, super excited to have all these rich and experienced people to come within my journey and make it a fruition, honestly.
I love that. Would you consider yourself then maybe at a disadvantage coming from a smaller country and maybe not having, all the resources in the world like a country like Philippines or
Hmm.
Venezuela, for example?
Honestly, I can't change the status quo of my country. That's the reality of things. I do come from a small island state, but I can't dwell over it. And, you know, just as much as Philippines has that sash factor, Seychelles is gonna have that sash factor too. Don't be fooled by the size of my island. We have the same rights and the same advantages as Philippines or any other country to compete on that stage. So I consider myself a big contender, just like any other country, and that mindset is going to take me further in my Miss Universe journey. All honesty.
I love that mindset. I love that. Earlier, you mentioned a question that they actually did to you in your local competition. I actually was watching a little bit, and they asked you a question, and you mentioned Mother Teresa. Are
Yes.
you religious?
Actually, my parents are quite religious. As for me, I consider myself as someone of faith, someone of spirit. So, religion is very polarizing, in all honesty. I've had a few difficulties putting my nail or my finger on it, but I consider myself as someone of faith, and I know there's someone of greater powers protecting me and guiding me. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but in due time and in due course, I will find it. But my parents are very religious and I respect their principles, but they always guide me in the right light. And as much as possible, they always educate me on that matter. But I told them I'm a person of faith, and with due time, I'll find my course of action.
So, what do you think might be their thoughts, or maybe even your thoughts, since you're more spiritual, uh, of Anne being a trans woman and being the owner of Miss Universe? Do you think that
What's
would go
an
against their values and your values?
Honestly, what's amazing about my family and about me is even if they are religious, they have the principles of kindness and compassion. And they've always told me, regardless of the identity or the gender of someone, they are human at the end of the day. And you should always treat someone with respect and kindness because you may not know what they're going through, what were their challenges and their struggles. And because of that, I was able to make friends with male, female, queer, LGBTQ people. So to me, Anne being transgender is not an issue. She is human at the end of the day, and she deserves to be treated with kindness, tolerance, and respect. And this new change is actually something that I embrace. I'm excited for it. I'm someone who's dynamic, who's volatile. I love changes. I love being evolutionary, transformative. So it's something I really do embrace.
Guys, look at that. If anyone was questioning why Gabriella won her national title, I think that is the answer right there. Her speaking skills are very much next level, and I'm very impressed, and I love that.
Thank
I tell
you.
your genuineness from it, and I appreciate that. I'm glad that someone can have that, that faith and still know that everyone deserves respect. So I applaud you.
100%. Thank you so much. I love that you brought out that genuine aspect because that's something I want to bring out in Miss Universe. Being genuine and showing that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to know that you're not perfect. You could mess up. There is strength in being vulnerable. So I'm super happy that you brought out that genuine comment. Thank you so much.
Of course. And speaking of being vulnerable, if someone, let's say you're sitting in the panels table in Miss Universe, they're judging you and they ask you, Gabby, vulnerable part of you, share that with us.
Could you repeat that? Because the internet lagged a bit. So it's
Oh,
a
of
little
course.
choppy.
Of course. Let's say you're sitting down in front of the judges
Mhm.
and they ask you, Gabi, what is your most vulnerable side of you?
Right. That's a tricky question because I'm open. I show my vulnerabilities like it's scars, and I'm very proud of that. But it would be in that moment showing my true self on stage. As a Miss Universe contestant, I'm not going to fake it till I make it. I'm going to show you the reality of things, and that's me being vulnerable. I'm a Miss Universe contestant, but I'm still human. I mess up. I have the will to learn. I'm eager. And in that moment, it will really reflect in my eyes. You will see that vulnerability of me opening up and showing you I've struggled, but with struggles, I've overcome and I've rose like a phoenix, like we say.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you telling us that because that is something that a lot of people in pageants don't take in consideration. That when contestants are most vulnerable, when they're most honest with you, that's
Exactly.
when us pageant fans, we connect with you guys. And that's what makes us fall in love with you guys and support you guys is that openness, that vulnerability, like you said.
100%. And it's something that people are going to see on my social media. They're going to see throughout my pageant journey, and they're going to see it on stage. Honestly, I'm human. I'm a Miss Universe contestant, yes, but I'm human. And that's a quality that people will resonate with me. It's being relatable.
I love that. And speaking of relatable, mental health is such an important thing, uh, especially in the pageant community. Like I just mentioned, there's so many criticisms,
Yeah.
so many, let's say, pointing fingers at each contestant. You're a new country, so you do have eyes on yourself, uh, and maybe people don't have the biggest expectation from you. So, what is that you're gonna bring? Which I already know the answer because I'm seeing it right now. But what is that you're gonna bring that's different and special, and that will set you apart from all the Miss Universe contestants? Because let me tell you, this group is fierce. This
Yeah,
year is
it is.
fierce.
It's fierce, it's giving, and that's what I love about this group. But what sets me apart, like being around such beautiful and phenomenal women, let's put that out clear. What sets me apart is my empathy. I'm somebody who listens. I believe in listening. I've experienced lots of losses. My godfather and my best friend passed away through suicide. So empathy is such a big element to me. I listen, but with being empathetic, I do go that extra mile to find a solution, to find a way. And because of that, it gives me the advantage, or it allows me to bring that quality to the Miss Universe organization. Because if I'm given that platform, I'm not just going to amplify voices. I'm going to find ways to create opportunities to give these people so they have equal access to the resources, to being transformative and being an evolutionary leader.
I love that you mentioned that leader because Miss Universe has been very, let's say, keen on wanting someone that is a transformational leader. So, do you already have that answer prepared when you're sitting there in the judges and they ask you what makes you a transformational leader?
100%. As somebody who studied business, I've had internships where I've seen leadership at its finest. And what I've been able to take out of these lessons is that being a transformative leader encompasses having compassionate leadership. We often say leading with example, and people have this mindset that it's just somebody screaming or saying things and you have to follow through. Being a compassionate leader and a transformative leader means going to the same extent your people are working, putting in the same effort. It's just releasing all these titles and knowing that we're all equal and we're all contributing to the same things. So that is leading with example. It's holding each other's hands and working towards the same goal.
See, that's an interesting light on transformational leader. I've been, honestly, as a pageant analyst, I've been analyzing, for lack of a better word, what is a transformational leader and what is Miss Universe looking? And I hadn't seen it maybe that way. So I appreciate you bringing that to light because it does give me maybe a better understanding of what potentially Miss Universe is looking for. So I like that. I like that.
You're welcome.
It's awesome. I honestly, I like, again, I will commend you on your speaking skills because
thank you.
I think it's refreshing. It's nice to hear you. Like, you have good content, and that is a lot of times what set girls apart. So
I speak from the heart, so I'm hoping it reflects well.
I feel that. I can feel that. Let's go back to the Miss Universe stuff. Maybe not so serious now. I want to know more about your preparation because I know people are dying to know. How's the catwalk going? Dresses? Any hints? What is maybe one of your biggest things that you're still working on days away from Miss Universe? I'm going to repeat it again.
Okay. All right. So I'm excited to share as much as I can, but I'm not going to go into full details because, you know, I still got to give that little shazam, that little wow factor. Okay. Training. Let's break it down. One of my greatest difficulties was walking. If you search up Gabriella Gontier, you don't see much resources or videos of my catwalk. You could see me modeling because that's something I've done for a while, but people don't have that pageant video where I'm walking. So I received a lot of DMs, honestly, through my appointment where people were like, oh, you've got to improve your walk. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. And that's something I took into consideration, honestly. And I'm not perfect. So I've been doing a lot of catwalk training. I've been practicing my turns, my poses, my faces. You know, you want to be fierce, but you want to be amazing at the same time. So training is going well in terms of catwalk because that was one of my biggest limitations. Even if you find me very fluent in English, I don't think you will ever be too good at something. So I am training in all elements, etiquettes, question and answers, grooming. This is something I'm picked on a lot because a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, you look so young. You look like a teen, you know, and you see my photos with all these fierce and beautiful women. But, you know, that's the process of Miss Universe. It's coming in as a girl, but I'm pretty sure when they see me on stage, they're going to be like, oh, that's a woman. That's a woman.
That's a woman.
Exactly. Wow, that's a woman. So I am working on a lot of things. I will never be too good at anything. And I'm just enjoying the process. Sometimes we forget how important it is to enjoy the journey, to savor that moment. So I'm taking all the lessons as much as possible. And I'm excited for people to see that improvement. And I'm proud of myself. First and foremost, I'm extremely proud of myself. Okay. So in terms of clothing, right, preliminary and finals are being done by Boogie, as everybody knows. And what I can tell you about preliminary is that it is in alignment to the new mandate. Honestly, it's in alignment to Miss Universe new mandate. If you think about it, maybe you'll get a hint, but this is the biggest clue I can give you. It's in alignment to the new mandate, but at the same time, it really reflects the fact that Seychelles is back. after 27 years. So you will see a lot of vibrant colors in my journey. And that's a hint also for my preliminary gown. In
There you
terms of
go, guys.
finals, we're going classic. So that's as best as I can give you. I think that sells a lot. But we're going for timeless, elegant, and classic pieces for finals.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Well, you got to tell Boogie to take you to Times Square, walk down the red stairs, practice there, do turns. That's always a good spot to practice your.
Yeah, you can never have too much training for sure.
No, and there's something that you can't train for, and I think
Mhm.
you have that spark, you have the ability to carry a conversation and not make me feel bored. Like I'm enjoying myself, and that's really important.
Oh,
That's something that the judges will look at when you walk
yeah.
out, like that was fun, and I'm feeling that.
That's something I want to bring, that element of fun. I think sometimes we're a little too hard on ourselves in pageantry, and I don't want to be hard on myself. I know I'm doing my best, and because I'm doing my best, I need to be gentle with myself, and I need to enjoy the moment. Yes, the crown is important, but it's already a big milestone that I am a contender. But trust me, I'm going to give it my all. That is for sure.
I can see that. I can see that. When do you leave?
All right, so fingers crossed, we're going to LA tomorrow. That I can
Ooh,
tell. Yeah, we're going to LA tomorrow. We're supposed to meet with sponsors, confirm my national costume, which again is a surprise. And I'll be arriving to New Orleans on the 3rd of January. So I'm going to meet all my 84 sisters on the 3rd of January.
so exciting.
Yes,
Can
it
you
is.
believe it's right there? Like it's gonna
It's
just go.
ticking. It's like time is like running away from me. And I'm like, slow down. And I know time is going to run away from me when I'm in the pageant.
It's gonna be fast. So enjoy
It's
it.
going to be packed.
It's gonna be really, really fast. It's gonna pass by in a blink of an eye. So
100%.
luckily you will have support there. So don't double think yourself because I will be there to support you 100%.
I
Starting
feel the
the
love.
fourth, I will be there. So uh
Amazing.
yeah, I'm just super excited to be able to get to know more about you and to give you the ability to let the pageant community know more about you because you are someone to look for. And you're interesting. You're not
Thank
boring.
you. Thank you. I love that because, I'm not in the pageant hot picks. I don't think pageant hot picks define you. But like you said, I am someone to look out for. Just know I am bringing my A game. I do come from a small country, but like I always say in the forums that I attend for work, don't be fooled by the size of my country. Okay. When I turn my back and I look at the ocean in my country, I see infinity, endless opportunities. And that's the exact mindset I'm coming with to Miss Universe. I have the same rights and the same seat at the table with all 84 sisters.
I love that. Random question. Who's your
Go.
biggest competition then?
All, all, everyone is my biggest competition. But sometimes we forget that we are our own competition. Our procrastination, our weaknesses that we fail to acknowledge or work on. These are our biggest competitors. Yes, all 84 sisters are competitors, but sometimes it trickles down to you. What about your bad ethics, the bad side you need to work on? This could be your biggest competitor and your downfall if you don't look at it.
See, I like what you just did right there because you gave an answer that is maybe typical, but you explained something that usually people don't explain.
Mm.
Why are you your biggest competitor? It's
I am my
because of
biggest
those
competitor,
obstacles that you
honestly.
put yourself on.
100%. Like, time is running out, right? And sometimes you're like, oh, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this. But it's exactly those small little things that you neglect, your procrastination, your walking, the time you're spending too much on social media. It's those little things that trickle down to be your biggest competitor, honestly.
There you go, guys. I honestly, I'm super excited to see you at Miss Universe now because that speaking skill is probably what's going to push you to be the highest place that you could be at, because honestly that's what sets you apart. So
Thank
keep
you so
that.
much.
Don't doubt yourself. Like you just said, don't doubt yourself.
I
And
want.
I know you're going to make people proud.
Yeah, I want. For most of my life, I've doubted myself. I've always exerted so much pressure on me because I knew what I could deliver. And that became my biggest downfall sometimes in life. So I've learned, like I say, from the L's, like we say, from the L's, we take the lessons. It's never a loss, it's always a lesson. So it's exactly that I'm doing. I'm just enjoying the journey. I'm being gentle to myself and knowing that I can do well. And because I can do well, I'm going to make myself and my country proud.
That's amazing. I can feel that. I can definitely feel that. Well, Gabriela, I want to thank you again for taking time out. I want to thank your organization. I want to thank Boogie, and of course you for taking time of your busy schedule.
You're
Because, like,
welcome.
I'll say for the fifth or 10th time, we're days away from Miss Universe. So I
Oh,
appreciate
yes, we
you.
are.
I know it's sink it in, sink it in. It's crazy.
Ooh. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't think you realize how this small gesture has such a big impact. And as somebody who advocates for kindness, this means the world to me. You have such an amazing platform. So thank you for giving me that chance to amplify my voice and to allow people to better understand who I am.
Of course, and that's always the goal with my interviews with you girls, is for the for the pageant community to learn to love you guys and see what we don't see in pictures. So, like I said earlier, I want to appreciate Rafa. Thank you for making this happen. Boogie, thank you for making this happen. Your organization, Gabriella, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking this time to make everyone fall in love with you, and I can't wait to see you at Miss Universe. Right after we're done here, we're gonna have her Miss Universe sister, Miss Universe Mauritius. So stick by. We will be live in about 5 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you once again, Gabriela. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck at Miss Universe. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the universe to me. And yeah, go support her. Please do it now. We're a community. Be behind her. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, it looks like